Hi, welcome. This video deals with the mental and emotional symptoms that many women experience in perimenopause and postmenopause. There tends to be a large focus on the physical symptoms, like hot flashes, joint pain, itching, insomnia, weight gain, dryness, and bloating, but that's only half the picture. Our mental health can be altered as well, and it can manifest in many ways. I'm going to talk about 7. I'm making anxiety number 1 because it's common in all stages of menopause and it can be debilitating. Changes to the brain, the gut, stress levels, cortisol levels, and sleep when estrogen drops can all contribute, and they can manifest in the following ways: general anxiety with no real triggers, health anxiety, morning anxiety, obsessive behaviors, overthinking or overworrying, new or even irrational fears, and sometimes unprovoked panic. Women who never experienced anxiety in their lives may all of a sudden find themselves overwhelmed by it, and those with existing anxiety may find it worsening in menopause. I've always been a bit of an anxious person, but it ramped up big time in perimenopause, and it took me quite a long time to get control of it. Number 2 is brain fog and memory lapses, which are just as common as anxiety and honestly can be just as concerning. Forgetting things like where your glasses are, what you were saying, what a familiar object is called, or where you parked the car, or just spacing out like your brain is trying to load. It can cause you to be distracted and unfocused and make it difficult to get things done efficiently. It can also leave you extremely concerned about your mental health. I sometimes remember that I'm forgetting something, but I forget what that something is. How ridiculous is that? I've read numerous times that the memory issues are temporary, so I'm hanging on to that. Next are mood changes. Depression is in this category and can lead to sadness, apathy, fatigue, hopelessness, changes in appetite, lack of motivation, and irritability. Mood changes also include rage, which is common in perimenopause and is honestly a horrible feeling. I dealt with it myself. The smallest things would send me off the deep end. It would take everything in me to pull myself together and not lose it. And I'm fortunate that it didn't last. Bouncing between moods in a short period of time is also common. Going from laughing to crying to annoyed in 20 minutes is not unheard of. Number 4 is overwhelm, not being able to cope with things the way you used to. I've noticed that things that I used to be able to deal with without even thinking twice now leave me very flustered and upset. Sometimes simple things like having 2 appointments in one day or having an unexpected event thrown into my routine will leave me very overwhelmed. I realize at the time that I'm making a mountain out of a molehill, but I just can't deal with all of the extras as easily as I once did. The overwhelm doesn't always involve life events either. It can include things like loud noises, bright lights, crowds, or just too much going on all at once. They are often issues for me, especially that bright track lighting in the big stores. It almost makes me dizzy now. Next are personality changes. I've had so many women tell me that they aren't the same person in midlife, and I feel the same way. Many women become more introverted and prefer the comforts of home when they were always the life of the party. Or they all of a sudden find their voices in midlife and become very efficient at speaking their piece and standing their ground when they were always quiet and non-confrontational. Menopause is a very significant change in a woman's life, so it makes sense to me that it would profoundly change the way you view the world and prioritize things. Number 6 is tolerance and patience. I'm sure this doesn't apply to a percentage of women, but I've noticed that my levels of patience and tolerance have tanked now that I'm menopausal, and I've heard similar stories from other women. I can't deal with drama, inefficiency, or any kind of BS now, and I go squirrely if I have to wait for anything. If there's a long lineup, I'm likely to leave, and heaven forbid that my packages don't arrive on the day that they're scheduled to. Those types of things used to roll off my back, but not now, although I do try. I think in my case, it's a matter of preserving my peace. Menopause is hard enough, so I think for most middle-aged women, peace of body and mind become a priority. The physical symptoms in menopause are often the most focused on, but I truly believe that the mental and emotional changes can be far more life-altering. Have your mind, moods, and emotions shifted in midlife? How are you coping? I hope perimenopause and postmenopause aren't treating you too badly. It can be a very rough ride. I wish each and every one of you health, happiness, and peace of body and mind, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.